I thought we did a good job on Caitlin. I thought we made it difficult on her to get going.
Atlanta coach Karl Smesko regrets instantly after saying this about Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever in a post-game press conference that was supposed to be routine. Atlanta Dream head coach Karl Smesko made a comment, just a few words, that instantly ignited a firestorm across the WNBA.
They're really good at attacking the rim. I mean, it's hard to stay in front of Mitchell. She's, an all-star level player, and we're really geared up on trying to limit what Caitlin could do. So we weren't going to help there, so there's a little bit more space for their attackers. And
those words, seemingly harmless, quickly spiraled into a full-blown controversy. Fans erupted on social media. Analysts dissected the meaning, and within hours, Smesko found himself at the center of a media whirlwind, accused of downplaying one of the biggest rising stars in basketball, Caitlin Clark. So what exactly did he say? Why did it spark such outrage? And does he regret it now? Let's break it all down. In the aftermath of a nail-biting 91-90 win over the Indiana Fever, Atlanta Dream head coach Karl stepped up to the mic, calm and collected. But in under 3 minutes, he would deliver a series of remarks that would become the most scrutinized quotes of the WNBA week. When asked about Indiana's offensive performance, Smesko acknowledged the challenge posed by Kelsey Mitchell's ability to attack the rim and the cutting of Natasha Howard. Then came the focus. We were really geared up on trying to limit what Caitlin could do, so we weren't going to help there, he stated. He continued,
I thought we did a good job on Caitlin. I thought we made it difficult on her to get going, and more importantly, for her to get other people involved. So that part of it was good. We're still losing vision a lot, which then allows people to get to the rim and get shots at the basket. And we obviously don't want to be giving up any of those.
On paper, it was a clear, strategic explanation. The Dream prioritized defending Caitlin Clark above all else. But in detailing that plan, Smesko emphasized his view that Clark's primary threat was her facilitation, not her scoring. His breakdown of the defensive approach included no praise for Clark's 28-point performance. Instead, he credited his players' rotations, despite admitting they were a little slow, and framed the defensive win as a team achievement. He also shifted focus to areas where his own squad needed improvement: screening, spacing, and ball movement. In all of it, Clark's name came up just once, briefly, and with minimal elaboration. In a moment that should have been about a hard-fought win, the spotlight swung back towards Smesko's carefully chosen words about Caitlin Clark. Whether intentional or not, he laid out a defensive blueprint built around stopping her, while giving her only measured recognition of the force she was that night. The words were subtle, the message was sharp. Smesko's comments quickly circulated on social media, drawing criticism from fans, analysts, and fellow coaches. Many viewed his remarks as dismissive of Clark's talent and the broader contributions of women athletes. The incident sparked discussions about respect and recognition in women's sports, with calls for greater appreciation of players' skills and achievements. The May 20th matchup between the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever wasn't just another regular season game, it was a statement. The Dream edged out the Fever in a heart-pounding 91-90 finish, but the story was far more layered than the final score suggests.
On the rim. Well, after that brilliant opening night win, Indiana's largest in 14 years. What do the Fever have for an encore? Well, they're off to a good start.
I know Stephanie White and her...
From the opening tip, both teams showcased contrasting styles. The Dream, under Karl Smesko's high-tempo system, leaned heavily into perimeter shooting and ball movement. Atlanta attempted 33-pointers during the game, sticking closely to Smesko's offensive philosophy. Though their shooting efficiency was inconsistent, key baskets down the stretch kept them in control. On the other side, the Fever relied on a combination of Caitlin Clark's dynamic playmaking and Kelsey Mitchell's aggressive drives to the rim. Clark finished with 28 points, constantly probing the defense and hitting crucial shots that kept Indiana within striking distance. Atlanta's defensive scheme was designed specifically to contain Clark. Smesko admitted post-game that they avoided helping off her, opting instead to limit her options. This approach left gaps for others, namely Mitchell and Natasha Howard, to exploit, one which they did effectively.
Timeout. A lot of contact underneath. Clark's got to get it in. She lobs it up for Howard. Howard had it blocked at the rim. Howard pulls it down. Howard's shot is short. Rebound Atlanta. The Fever have to foul here, and they won't get a foul away. And Atlanta will escape with a victory.
Despite those challenges, Atlanta's late-game execution proved just enough to seal the win. A combination of strong rebounding, timely shot-making, and clutch defensive stops in the final possession secured the Dream's narrow victory. The game underscored both teams' strengths and flaws. For the Dream, it highlighted their offensive potential and areas of defensive improvement. For the Fever, it showed their growing chemistry, Clark's leadership, and how dangerous they can be when she's in rhythm. A single point separated the teams on the scoreboard. But the tension, energy, and implications from this game, those were off the charts. Since being drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever in 2024, Caitlin Clark has made a significant impact on the WNBA. In her rookie season, she averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, earning the Rookie of the Year award and a spot on the All-WNBA first team. Clark's presence has also led to increased attendance and viewership for the league, a phenomenon often referred to as the Caitlin Clark effect. Her games have drawn record crowds, and her popularity has contributed to a surge in merchandise sales and media coverage for women's basketball. Before stepping into the bright lights of the WNBA, Karl Smesko was already a name etched in college basketball history. In November 2024, the Atlanta Dream made headlines by naming Smesko their new head coach, a bold move that instantly turned heads across the league. But this wasn't just any hire. This was the mastermind who, over 22 seasons, transformed Florida Gulf Coast University from a little-known program into a mid-major juggernaut. From 2002 to 2024, Smesko didn't just coach at FGCU, he built an empire. Under his guidance, the Eagles dominated the Atlantic Sun Conference, collecting 10-plus tournament titles and earning repeated NCAA tournament appearances. His squads were feared for their blistering pace, relentless ball movement, and a deadly three-point arsenal that became his signature. Smesko's philosophy? Run fast, shoot faster, and shoot from deep. It was unconventional, it was electrifying, and it worked. Now, in Atlanta, Smesko is bringing that same firepower to the pro level. But in a league packed with stars and egos, his journey is no longer just about schemes and shooting percentages. It's about earning respect on a much bigger stage. And that stage just got a lot harder. Under Smesko's leadership, the Atlanta Dream have adopted a fast-paced, three-point heavy offensive strategy. In the game against the Fever, the Dream attempted 33 pointers, aligning with Smesko's coaching style. Despite shooting struggles, the team managed to secure a victory, showcasing the potential of Smesko's system. However, the Dream's overall performance has been inconsistent, with a 1-2 record early in the season. Smesko has acknowledged the need for improvement, particularly in late-game situations, stating, "We're gonna have to get a little better in these close game situations, and that's something that we'll work on." The controversy surrounding Smesko's comments underscores the importance of recognizing and respecting the contributions of women athletes. As the WNBA continues to grow in popularity, the league and its stakeholders must navigate the challenges of increased visibility and scrutiny. For the Atlanta Dream, the focus remains on improving performance and building team cohesion under Smesko's guidance. For Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, the goal is to continue their upward trajectory and capitalize on the momentum generated by Clark's presence. The incident involving Karl Smesko and Caitlin Clark serves as a reminder of the evolving landscape of women's professional basketball. As players like Clark continue to break barriers and elevate the sport, it is imperative for coaches, media, and fans to support and celebrate their achievements with the respect they deserve. Karl Smesko's comments about Caitlin Clark, while made in the context of one game, revealed a much deeper undercurrent shaping the league today. A growing tension between the traditional coaching mindset and the WNBA's rapidly evolving media landscape. This isn't just about basketball tactics anymore. It's about how narratives are shaped and whose voices get amplified. For years, the WNBA has operated under the radar of mainstream sports media. That reality is changing fast, with players like Clark, Angel Reese, and others drawing millions of viewers. WNBA press rooms have become extensions of a global stage. Veteran coaches understand that how a leader speaks publicly about opponents, especially stars, can influence how their own players perceive the game and their place in it. Respect shown toward elite competition often reinforces a team's mindset. If we beat them, we beat the best. When respect feels absent, even unintentionally, it can shift focus away from team achievement and open the door to unnecessary distraction. For a young team like the Dream, still molding its identity under Smesko, clarity and messaging is critical. What happens next is up to Smesko and the league. These are the moments that define leadership at the professional level. Not just strategy in tight games, but how coaches respond under the microscope. The comments have been made, the scrutiny has followed, but the real story will be how Smesko adapts, what tone he sets moving forward, and how both he and the Atlanta Dream grow from the moment. Because in the WNBA, growth isn't just measured by wins, it's measured by awareness of the game, the players, and the platform they now command.